Sahana vavatu, Sahano bhunaktu, Sahaviryam karavavahay, Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sairam. We are in the 11th Anuvakam of Sri Rudram. We have covered already 4 mantras, and the 4 Rik mantras out of the 10. So today we will continue from where we left off. Saira. Ye vriksheshu saspinjara nilagriva vilohita. Ye vriksheshu saspinjara nilagriva vilohita. Ye vriksheshu saspinjara nilagriva vilohita. To look at pronunciations which needs to be paid attention to. There are no aspirated consonants here, but vikshe and shu, in both cases the sha is cerebral sha, where the tip of the tongue should point upwards. That's the only area where you may have to focus a little bit. Otherwise, it should be a simple mantra. Let's look at the pada form. Split the sandhis. Ye praksheshu, there is no change. Saspincharaha, the visarga is dropped, as you can see above. Nilagrivaha, again the visarga is dropped because of sandhi. So other than that, there are no differences in the pada form and the samhita form. We will look at the meanings. So maybe I should point out here, while looking at the meanings, there is another a sentence or a line of a verse which is repeated, though I've said it's implied. So in the mantras, if you see the first mantra and the 10th mantra, this line repeats. That is, this line is there in the first mantra and the 10th mantra. But in between, there are only one line given. Okay, so it's something like inverted commas. You start and the end. They have given the second line, but for all the in between lines, we have to infer that that line exists. Okay, just tesham sahasrayojane avadhanvani tanmasi. The meaning is ye is those who. Vriksheshu, vrikshaha, vriksham means it's one tree. Vrikshaha means many. Vriksheshu is in trees. This is seventh vibhakti. So in all the trees, in many trees, so whatever you want to say. Okay, in Vriksheshu. Saspinjaraha. Saspinjaraha means, I think we have looked at it, I think the second Anuvaka, it comes again. So Saspinjara means, we say, they are the, I think young tender grass, I think is the meaning which looked at that time. The pinjara is supposed to be a color of the young tender grass or anything which is sprouting. So it is supposed to be yellowish red. That's the description they give. So in the trees, those who in the trees are of the color of yellow and red, like the sprouts of young grass. Or you can, okay. The next one is Nila Griva. Nila Grivaha, I think we have already looked at it. Almost the first mantras have this word appearing. So those who have blue, black necks. The Griva means neck, Nila means blue or black. Okay. Those who have these blue necks. That's a translation, literal translation. Then let's look at that. Vilohitaha. Vilohitaha is, I think we have already looked at this also. This is deep red color, of certain red color. And it can be V, as soon as you put V, it also means Vivida in many different reddish flavors. Okay. So such Rudras, those who are in the trees in this color, that is yellow red color or the dark colors, and also who are in the reddish tinge. Okay. Those Rudra, Tesham Nisasra Yojane Vadhanvantan means we spread their beneficent bows to thousands of yojanas, okay, to the other end of the earth. We looked at the diameter is, covered by 1000 yojanas. So it should be spread to all the parts of this earth, at least. But Sahasra also can mean infinite. That also Akshayam, and as it's defined in the Mahabharata. So now the question is, so the meaning is those Rudras in trees who are of yellow, reddish color, of blue, black color, and of deep red color, we shall spread their beneficent bows across thousands of yojanas. See, this tree analogy is given so many times, and the word Nilagriva is also given. Generally, we say Nilagriva means Shiva has blue throat, he drank poison. But in the trees, how can they be, who are yellowish color, blackish color, reddish color? See, what happens is the tree symbolizes, I will look at Swami's excerpt later, but it also means, Saspinjara means, see, in the spring, there is new sprouts coming out in trees. Those are like tender colors, young sprouts. Then what happens? Then they become the summer. They all have blossomed fully and there's a dark leaves. So Nila can also be taken as dark. So tree sometimes is fully dark. There are so many leaves which are all dark in color, dark green. So Nila is also dark green. Okay. And Vilohitaha, in the fall, they all change color. You'll see yellow, red, all kinds of red, orange, all of them. So that also shows the three stages of the tree in the season, and the long season. Then, of course, winter comes. Then again, we are back to. So all this is covered. So all this is actually performed by Rudras. When things are small, when things are grown up, then when things drop off, all that is, there are Rudras there also. So to them, whatever is positive should be spread everywhere. So that's the way to look at it. But they are all Rudra. Okay, so we will, when we read this Swami's excerpt, I think we can look at it. Again, this mantra is also uh, received by sage Durvasa. It is in the meter Chandas Anushtup, and the Rudra is the Devata who is, again Skandarupi is coming. I think everyone will say, I have still not removed. Okay. I think all Tamil people should be very happy. We are mentioning Subramania also as, or Murugan as Rudra. Okay, so we will look at an excerpt. Swami. There is no doubt whatsoever that even by remaining a part and parcel of this creation, we can experience the divinity in our heart. There's no doubt whatsoever that even by remaining a part and parcel of this creation, we can experience divinity in our heart. And as we mentioned earlier, if we get a tree, the fruits from the tree are important. While the fruits on a tree are important, in order to get such fruits, we have to protect the tree, the leaves and the branches. In a similar manner, the Atma is most important for us. But we have to protect the body and the sensory organs which help us to recognize the Atma. In this tree of creation, what is it that we are looking for? We are looking for the fruits of liberation or moksha. In this tree as well, there are so many branches and leaves in the form of our relations and attachments. The leaves, which are the ideas, are present in a large number on the tree. Our thoughts and our desires are like the flowers that blossom on the tree. On the same tree is also the fruit of liberation or moksha. If we really want to get the fruit of moksha, we can do so only if we protect the leaves and the branches as well. However, this is not enough. While having this desire to reach the fruit which is visible on the tree, what we have to do is to take care of the invisible roots of the tree, and we have to water these invisible roots. These roots, which are invisible, can be compared with our faith and our belief in the Atma. On the roots of faith in this Atma is based the entire tree with all its leaves and branches. It's only when we undertake to water the roots and protect the tree will we be able to get the fruit of moksha. The sweet rasa, or the juice that can be extracted out of the fruit of moksha, is our character. If this juice of character and the faith, which is the root of the tree, are not present, then the tree becomes useless. Young people, if this faith does not exist in the form of roots, if the character does not exist in the form of juice, then it is no longer a tree. It is as bad as firewood. The first thing we must do is to promote our faith in Atma, faith in one's own self. And then we must try and reach the fruit of liberation. Why I picked this excerpt is, whenever there is a word which comes, there's so much meaning embedded in the word. Vriksheshu means all of us are trees also, small trees, which have grown from the seed of God. Because Swami says God is in every being in this world as a bija, as a seed. And the seed has grown into this tree. So, and then Swami is telling what all we have to do. So just the word tree itself implies so much. it implies the roots, it implies the fruits, it implies the branches, and all the seasons which come. We are young, we grow old, then we die, or grow old and then die. So all this is part of creation. And in this part, the fruit which is not mentioned is the one which we are all looking for. So when the Rudra mantras talk something, they embody so much in just one word and in one mantra. And Swami has nicely described. Because otherwise, people may say, why are we saying God in the trees, God in the trees? Because God in the trees means we are the tree. It's a tree of life. Just to a slight experiment, even if you look at the Christian Bible, in the first chapter, Adam is going off the fruit of the tree. Okay, yeah, all of us want the fruit, but how we go about getting the fruit is the most important thing. For that, Adam is sent into the world to do work, to work for it. But of course, interpretations can differ. But we are all brought into this world to work so that we can achieve that fruit. Because once we achieve that fruit, even in the Bible it says, as soon as you eat the fruit, you become one among us. That means you become divine. So these are the same concepts embedded in many other religions as well. Every religion, I would say. Sanatana Dharma is source where it's nicely explained. Otherwise, we are like the firewood. That's why we burn at the end. Just the way firewood is burned, our bodies are burned because they're dead wood. So Swami is nicely explaining. So I thought it's sort of the entire concept is nicely explained by Swami in these words. Okay, Saira. So now we will. It's from Summer Showers, 1977. It's a discourse number 7. We will go on to the next mantra. Ye bhutanam adhipatayo vishikasa kapardinah. Ye bhutanam adhipatayo vishikasa kapardinah. Ye bhutanam adhipatayo vishikasa kapardinah. Again, this line is implied. Tesham sahastra yojaneva dhanvani tanmasi. Let's look at the pada form, removing splitting the sandhis. Ye, the next word is actually bhutanam adhipatayo. And a plus become ma. Bhutanam adhipatayah. This visarga becomes o because of sandhi. Okay. So, ye bhutanam adhipatayah vishikasah kapardinah. Okay, we'll look at the meaning. So I think, sorry, I will have to go back. So in terms of paying attention to pronunciations, I'll just point out bhu. So it is fourth letter in the pa varga. So it has to be aspirated. Bhu. Okay. Bhutanam adhi. This is the fourth letter in the tha varga. So that has to be aspirated. Like the or the in this case. Okay. Bhutanam adhipatayo ishi ka. This is the second letter in the ka varga. So it has to be aspirated. Ka. Okay. Ishi ka sa. Kapardina. Okay. So there's a consonant which you should pay attention to. So let's look at the meaning. Okay. Ye means those who. Bhutanam. So it's a sixth vibhakti of bhutaha. Okay. Of the bhutas. Okay. Of the bhutas. Bhutanam. So bhuta means it can be the 5 elements. Panchabhuta. Bhutas are Ganas are also called Bhutas. Okay, the Shiva Ganas, all the deities which control the world. Then all the living beings are also called Bhutas. Jivatma is also a Bhuta. So that way also it's can. So Bhutana, all of these, whichever you want to think of. Adhipatayaha. So Adhipati is this, Lord. Adhipatayaha means plural. Okay. So the lords of all the Bhutas. Okay. Bhutana Adhipatayaha. The next one is Vishikhasaha. Okay. Vishikhasaha. Shikha means hair on the head. Shikha. In Tamil we'll say Sikayan, they will say. But it comes from the Sanskrit word Shikha. Okay. Vishikha means V is without here. Okay. Or there's no, those who have no hair. Okay. That's the meaning of Vishikha. Those with no hair on head. Then Kapardinaha. Kapardin we have already looked at. That means one who has matted hair, whose hair is matted. Okay. So the Rudras, who are the lords of all the Bhutas, who have no hair on the head, or who have matted hair. Okay. And we shall spread their beneficent bows across thousands of yojanas, because that's implied line. So we can, so I think lords of Bhutas, I think everyone is fine. All the gods who are running the world. Okay, so they are beneficial. Bhutana Matipade. I mean, without the Bhutas, you don't live. Okay. So, today everyone is talking about you have to preserve water, you have to preserve air, cleanliness, all that. The earth has to be preserved. So all the 5 Bhutas have to be preserved. We cannot exploit them, we should not damage them, because they are lords. So we should look at every single element with devotion, as the Lord is behind them. Then the one is Vishikasaha. See, those who shave their hair and they won't have hair, and those with matted hair means those who renounce. See, if you go to the sages who renounce, they do one of the two. Some of them will shave their head, one of them will have matted hair. So both of them signify people who are detached from the world. But at the same time, they are the ones who are benefiting the world. They also they will have control over the elements of such sages, saints. In them also there is Rudra. To those Rudras, we bow down. Whatever they have taught, whatever the teachings. So whatever we are learning is all coming from Rishis. They were either Vishika or they were Kapardins. They were all, because they leave the world, detached from the world. And they are collecting all the material so that the knowledge is also given. So whatever they have taught, we should learn, and also we should spread. That way also we can take the meaning. Okay. The Rishi for this is also Durvasa. And Chandas is Anushtu. Devata, the Lord who is prayed to, is Rudra himself. We will go to the next mantra. I have not had enough excerpts. I have one large excerpt at the end. Some of them we have covered before also, so I have not repeated. Because most of these mantras we have covered before also. Okay, so then we look at the mantra. Ye Anneshu Vividhyanti Patreshu Pibato Janan. Ye Anneshu vividhyanti patreshu pibato janan. Ye anneshu vividhyanti patreshu pibato janan. In terms of pronunciation, aneshu, the shu is again cerebral sha. Vividhyanti, this is the which is there, is actually the fourth letter in the tha varga, so it has to be vividhyanti. Okay. Patreshu, again shu is cerebral sha. Otherwise, there are no aspirated consonants in this mantra. So let's look at the other form splits of sandhis. Most of the words are not changed. There are no sandhi implications, except pibato. Pibataha, this visarga has become O. That's how we get pibato. So there are no other changes between the pada form and the samhita form. We will look at the meaning. Ye, those who. Anneshu. Okay. I think I should put foods, I should put with plural. In foods. In the foods we eat or whatever. The next word is vividhyanti. The word with we have already looked at. Generally, it is seen, it's someone who pierces also is in some places. I've just put, okay, pierce. Okay. And I will say many ways. I'll just put many ways. Okay. We mean stands for in many different ways, in a special way. All that the we in the beginning. Vividha is the way I would put meaning as in many ways. Vidhyanti. Okay, vidhyanti means it's plural. It's a verb which is plural. Okay. Anneshu vividhyanti. So most of the commentators are given the meaning those peers in the food which we eat and cause trouble. That's the meaning they have given. But the vidhyanti has other meanings also. It means that you worship, that which you, that it governs, controls, rules. All that kind of meaning also comes from the word vid. Okay. So I have taken the word govern, means who make things, food itself food, who look after the nutrition in the foods. Aneshu vividhyanti in many different ways. Okay. The next word is patreshu. Patra means vessel. In many vessels, patreshu. In the vessels. Pibataha, those who drink. Those who drink. Those who consume. You can put it that way. Pibataha means those who drink. I would say, sorry, I should. Doesn't come. Let's drink. It's a verb, plural verb actually. It's actually not plural verb. It's pibati, pibataha, pibanti. It's the verb. Pibati means he drinks. Pibataha means two of them drink. Okay. Pibanti means many drink. Okay, so in this case, there are two people drinking. Pibataha. Okay. That's the word. Okay. Patreshu pibataha. So when from the vessels, okay, in the vessels, janan, many, janan means in all the people. It's an object. Okay. Janaha, janan means second vibhakti, plural. Pibataha, two people are drinking. Okay. their beneficent vows, let's spread across thousands of yojanas. So they say, there are most of the commentators have given in the food, in all that we drink, there are people, there are troubles. Janan is considered a collection of things, so it's also called Janan. So there is a collection of things which are piercing and causing trouble. That's the way, and so we have to put these bows far away. Okay, that's the meaning which is given. But my humble attempt is, in the food there are nutritions which actually pierce our cells and go in. See, all the nutritions go into our cells. So how would they go? They have to pierce. Otherwise, they can't get in to the cell. But that is also done by Rudras. Okay. Then Vedyantis is many different, multiple, plural. Okay. Patreshu pibataha. So you can say vessel means vessels from which we drink also, you can say vessel. But our body is also a vessel. The role which we play, in drama also they will say that patra. In that patram, he is taking a role. That's also patra. So in patreshu means our body is also a vessel. Then who are the two who are drinking? I would say one is Jivatma, one is Paramatma also drinking. When we look at our food prayer, Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavir, Brahmaknam, Brahmanahutam. That Brahman is the one who is food. Whatever is offered is also Brahman. In the fire of Brahman, the Brahma is offering. And this food reaches Brahman. So that means Brahma is eating. We are also eating, but the Brahman is also eating. The offering is to the Brahman. So it is Jivatma is eating, Paramatma is also eating. Janan in everyone. So but you can say all that is food. Food. And Janan also can be, I have put the word people here, but it can be things also, a collection of things also, you can say. Whatever is created, Jana, multiple meaning is there. So all that we drink, all that is in this world is actually drunk by two. One Jivatma, one is Paramatma. Okay. But that is a nutrition which goes and pierces everything for good thing also. So that has to be spread everywhere. So health, food, which is in God, distribution of that is also Rudra. So we are all feeding people or Narayana Seva or something like that. Now why we call Narayana Seva is because we are feeding the person who individual, but we are also feeding the Narayana within. So all that comes through. So Swami will say you have to feed people, thousands of people, everyone should be fed. So when we are feeding the individual as well as the Lord within. That's why it's called Narayana Seva. Swami will say just don't say poor feeding. People don't have, so we are feeding. No, anyone who is fed, we should be conscious that the individual is eating, the divine is also eating. So that is the meaning of this one. Ye anneshu vividyanti patreshu pibato jana tesham sahasra yojane ava dhanvani dhanmas. So that's the meaning which I have taken, because I did not like too much. These are causing trouble, so we should put it away. Okay, Saira. Yes, Sister Aruna.
Saira, the transliteration is missing.
Missing? No, Sister. I think transliteration is generally in the meaning page. I don't give, Sister. It's here. If you go to the previous slide.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry, I missed it. Yes.
If you want, I can put it here.
No. That's fine. Thank you, brother.
Okay. It's a little bit of extra copying and pasting, which okay. I got to put some comments. Okay. If you want, I can copy it here also, but if you are printing and seeing, it is there. Okay. So that is ye anneshu vividyanti patreshu pibato janan tesham sahasra yojana. So whenever we are doing Narayana Seva, we can chant this. Or whenever we are eating also, we can chant. Whenever we are feeding other people also, we can. Serving food also, we can chant. So the word, what we are giving is eaten by this person as well as the Lord. Pibataha. Okay. So with the rishis again, Durvasaha, Chandas is Anushtup. The Lord who is prayed to is Rudra. We'll go to the next mantra. Ye patham patirakshaya ailabrida yavyudaha. Ye patham patirakshaya ailabrida yavyudaha. Ye patham patirakshaya ailabrida yavyudaha. In terms of pronunciation, tha, patham is the tha of the second letter in the tha varga, so it has to be aspirated. Patham. Okay. Then pathi. Pathi also is second letter in the tha varga, so it has to be aspirated. Rakshaya. Ksha, again, the ksha is the cerebral sha. So the tip of the tongue should be pointing upwards. Akshaya. Ailabrida yavyudha. This dha is fourth letter in the tha varga, so it has to be aspirated. Yavyudha. Okay. So let's look at the other form. Ye patham, no change. Pathirakshaya. The visarga is dropped because of sandhi. Ailabrida. Again, visarga is dropped because of sandhi. Otherwise, there is no difference in the pada form as well as the samhita form. Let's look at the meaning of the words. Ye, those who. Patham, I think we have, I don't know if you all remember, Pathinam Pataye Namaha. So Patha means all the paths. All the paths. Okay. Pathirakshaya means the protectors of the paths. Okay. The protectors of the paths is also, I will say, of the paths. Raksha means to protect. Pathirakshaya means the paths. Okay. So those who protect the patham. Patirakshaya, patham patirakshaya. Patham means the paths are protectors of the paths. Okay. Those who protect the paths. It also means those who have established the path, who have laid the path for us also, we can say. Okay. And once they lay it, they also protect it. They looked after it. Just like the highway is all maintained by the government. It's like that. They also, the highway of to God, Swami says. So they are called Margadarshis who have laid the paths, they have walked the path. All that is covered in this. Swami himself came down so that the path which he had laid is again fixed, so all of us can travel. Rather than go to the alleyways or where it's not paved, we should the royal road to God. That's what Swami says. Jnana marga, bhakti marga, karma marga. These all paths, which they are all patham. These are all the paths that is protected by Rudras. Ailabridaha. Ailabridaha. It's very to even give word by word because there's a lot of meaning there, which is all kinds of food which are Daha, one who gives also. Okay, those who give everything, which is food, all kinds of food. Okay, so for our sustenance. Ayurveda. Yavyudaha, I mean they are the ones who destroy also. Those Rudras who destroy, because the body also dies. Food itself, apparently food is eaten, it nourishes, at the same time it also ages us. And Anna means that which eats us and that which we eat. That is called Anna. Maybe I should have. The Swami has spoken about that also. At means to eat. Anna, it has two at. That's an, okay. Anna. That means food actually we eat and the food is also eating us. Okay. So that which nurtures us also destroys us, makes us sick. Okay. All that is done by the Lord. That's the cycle of creation, destruction, sustenance, destruction. The food also does the same thing. The food makes some life come into being. A cell is formed. A cell is also protected by the same food. The cell is also destroyed by the food. Then they will say, don't eat this, don't eat that. If you eat this, something is going wrong. When we age, that's what the doctors will say. Don't eat sugar, it's bad for you. But the sugar was the one which made us function. Sugar was the one which made us active. So it's the same thing. They will say, don't eat too much protein. It will cause kidney problems, things like that. So at some point, they become negative also in their effect. Okay, that's the nature of, but they protect everything. Because that is part of life. All that's created in this world actually goes through change. So those who Rudras, who are protectors of the path, nurturers with food, destroyers, we shall spread their beneficial boughs across thousands of yojanas. Yeah, Brother Kumar is saying he should tell his doctor. See, one of the problems, I slide this, side remark. See, the thing is, in this world, everyone is trying to treat old age. And they think they can treat old age with tablets. But the Sanatana Dharma tradition is, if you are past a certain age, accept things. And so you give up things. The best way is, why the God gives all these diseases is so that we cultivate detachment. But we can't give up attachment. So we think the tablet will solve the problem. God will be laughing. See, when we grow old, naturally we have to give up. We have to give up. So that is designed in the system. But we want to change that. Swami says, the gray hair comes so that we know we are going to die. But we cover it up. The hair may fall. Then we will try to see how we can patch it up. All this is done because the signs which God gives are ignored. But the reason He gives is so that we will spend more time in sadhana, because the time is running out. That is where the signals come. So that is the way the world is. So, okay, sorry, I have gone off a little at a tangent, but all this is mentioned. When we eat, we should understand the Lord is looking after it. The same food is also actually taking us to the grave. But that is also good, because that means we will work hard. We will not delay the sadhana. All these are recognized by the rishis. Epatam patirakshya ailabrata yavyudaha. The rishi is Durvasa, Chandas is Anushtu. The Lord who prayed to is Rudra. He is the Lord. So you can see all these are Rudra. Rudra means generally people think who is very angry, this and that. No. According to Sri Rudram, he is the one who gives. He is the one who nurtures. He is the one who takes away. Everything is looked after by the Lord because we have to travel the path. That's part of the journey of life. So that we'll go to the next mantra. Ye tirthani pracharanti srikavanto nishanginaha. Ye tirthani pracharanti srikavanto nishanginaha. Ye tirthani pracharanti srikavanto nishanginaha. So in terms of pronunciation, areas to pay attention to is tirtha. The stha is again second letter in the third varga, so it has to be aspirated. Tirthani pracharanti srikavanto nisha cerebral sha nishang ginaha. Okay, and those are the areas. Except this tha, there is no other aspirated consonant in this mantra. We look at the pada form, split sandhis. Ye tirthani, no change. Pracharanti, no change. Shakavantaha, the visarga has become O because of sandhi. Shakavanto. That's the only change between the pada and the samhita form. No other change due to sandhi in the mantra. We look at the meaning. Ye, those who. Tirthani, tirthani. I think we have looked at earlier also this tirtha. Tirtha means, the tirtham which we all drink in the temple, which they give, which is sacred water. So tirtha means any sacred river, lake, pond, all of them are sacred waters. But kshetra is also, tirtha kshetra is also, that means sacred places also, which, people go to various Triveni Sangama, where the three rivers meet and things like that also. So even sacred places, pilgrim centers are also called tirtha. Tirtha yatra, they will say. That means we are going on the pilgrimage to the pilgrims places. People go to Badrinath, Kedarnath, all that, Kashi, all of them are tirthas. Tirthani means plural. Tirtham, tirthani, okay, plural, sacred waters. Pracharanti, move about. Chara means to move. Pracharanti means they were continuously moving from places to place. All great sages and saints have always traveled to various tirthas, kshetra. In every tradition, it is common. Even if because there are many Tamils, I will say, all the Nayanmars, they went to different temples and prayed. So they are always seeking the divine. Where are they going? They are traveling only to Tirtha. I mean, today, we all go sightseeing, different countries. That's also Pracharanti only. But here, only people who would go to Tirthas, Tirtha Kshetras. In this world, there are many things to look at. But the devotee will only look for Tirtha Kshetra. They'll go to. So that's why, those who move about in sacred waters, we don't. Why should we take their bows away? Keep their bows far away. No, actually, we should keep their bows close to us. But of course, in sometimes some of these places, there may be thieves and pickpockets and things like that. Also, we should not worry about them. We should worry about the devotees. Okay, tirthani pracharanti. Whatever people, such noble people, that has to be spread everywhere. Their thought, their way of thinking has to be spread everywhere. Their mind, the mind with which they moved about, that's the mind we all should have. And that mind should be spread everywhere. So there is the mind, their body, how they were treating their body, that's the way we also should. So all these mantras, it's about us spreading, us making things happen. So So Rudram is telling, always move about. What does this mean? Oh, we will spread the means. That means we also have to undertake pilgrimage regularly. Whenever we go, we should go to Tirtha. Okay, so even these things are instructions are given in the Sri Rudram. Because that is what has to be propagated. Not any other moving all about everywhere. But I think this, sometimes we forget. When especially time is run out, when we are older, obviously we have not seen the world, so we have to go on trips. How many kshetras have we gone to? With what state of mind have we gone to? That is, so Upanishad means it's also teaching. That's the way we should take. Rudram is not about just learning to chant. Rudram is to live that life also. So this word basically says we have to go to pilgrim centers regularly. Always go to the temple, go to holy place, go to a kshetra. So that is the instruction of this. That is what we have to learn from this mantra. Ye tirthani pracharanti. Srikavantaha. The next one is Srikavantaha. Srikavantaha comes, it's a plural, Srikavant, or one, Srikavan, or Srikavat. Again, we have looked at what called Matu Pradya, I think sometime. That means who possess, Srikavat means one who possesses Srika. The word meaning for Srika, there are multiple meanings given. Generally, the Bhashyakara commentators are given the word sharp arrows, sharp weapons. This is the meaning which is given. But Srika also means lotus. So I've given the meaning lotus and arrow here. You can pick up whichever. So people who possess lotus, people who possess arrows. Okay. So theirs also should be spread, because I like the word sacred waters is there. So I thought lotus is better in this situation. The lotuses which blossoms in the tirtha. Who possess, that means who have collected these lotuses. So the lotus which has blossomed in these tirthas, people who possess them, that means our lotus of our heart should have blossomed. That's the way I took the meaning. Okay, so those who possess, their vows, their thoughts, their mind, that way of thinking should be spread everywhere. Shukavantaha. The next one is Nishanginaha. Nishanginaha means, Nishanginaha, generally we have already looked at. There are enough places, Nishangine, all that has come earlier on. We have used the word sword. I think there also we have looked at what is the sword? Sword of discrimination, which can cut and make sure this is right, this is wrong, this is good, this is bad. More than that, it is permanent, it is impermanent. That kind of buddhi, people who possess that kind of buddhi, which is capable of cutting the bad, cutting that is impermanent from what is permanent. Okay, such people only move about in the tirthas. Okay, so what they have given, what we can gain from them should be spread everywhere. That means the lotus of our heart should blossom. We should be moving about to sacred locations and pilgrim centers, and we should have the possess. Because of that, that's also a discrimination. To know where to go, where not to go. We have to spend money and go. We have to spend money and not go. These are things we have to understand. I think that's part of learning the Rudram. Ye tirthani pracharanti shrikavanta nishankina.
Brother Sairam, is it possible for you to give explanation in terms of arrow also, please? Now you gave with the water lotus.
Okay. Arrow, I think we have already looked at it. Arrows are thoughts. The bow is the mind means. Arrow is the thought. If the bow is the body means our actions are arrows, which we send out from the bow. So the arrows also, the people who is it tirtha, where will their thoughts be? Their thoughts will be on the Lord. The thoughts which people have, which are pointing towards the Lord. Their goal, see, arrow, you're always shooting at an object. They will have bullseye. You have to hit the mark, the target. So you can look at it that way also. People whose entire life is like an arrow going towards the goal. That they are focused on one pointed focus. When Arjuna was being taught by Drona Acharya, he was telling, okay, I'm going to tell you how to shoot. And he said, there's a bird. I want you to shoot at the eye of the bird. So everyone comes and Drona asking, what are you looking? Some people say, I'm seeing the tree, I'm seeing the sky, and this. He says, go that side, go that side. And Arjuna comes. He says, what do you see? He says, I see the eye of the bird. He doesn't see anything else. Only such a person can shoot the arrow and get the target. So people who are carrying that kind of arrow, that kind of one-pointed focus, ekagratha, is mentioned by arrow. It is not arrow which kills other people.
Thank you, brother.
Okay? So when we go to Tirtha, who will go to Tirtha? Whose one-pointed attention is only on God. That kind of a thing we should spread everywhere. Okay, so that is the meaning I have taken, but I will leave it to you all to choose whichever you want to apply. Okay, we'll go to the next mantra. The Rishi is Devala. Devalaha is the Rishi who received this mantra. Okay, the Chandas is Anushtu. The Lord who is prayed to is Sri Rudra. We have come to the 10th mantra. It's the last Rik mantra in Sri Rudram Anuvaka. So again, I will go through. Ya etavantascha bhuyam sascha disho rudra vitasthire tesham sahasra yojaneva dhanvani tanmasi. Ya etavantascha bhuyam sascha disho rudra vitasthire tesham sahasra yojaneva dhanvani tanmasi. Ya etavantascha bhuyam sascha disho rudra vitasthire tesham sahasra yojaneva dhanvani tanmasi. In terms of, so as I mentioned, you can see this has come again. This tesham sahasra yojaneva dhanvani tanmasi was in the first Rik mantra and now at the 10th mantra. That's why we were repeating that line for all the in-between lines to complete that verse individual.
Sairam,
in terms,
in English version is not the same.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I didn't.
Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't copy this transliteration there. Sorry. Okay. Sorry about it. Now it's there. Okay. I think that there is some changes I had to make. Sorry. Give me a minute. Okay, now it will be fine. Okay, sorry. Okay. For the second one, I have not given, but maybe I should. So okay, I think you can get it from the first one. Tesham, I haven't given here. Sorry about it. Because it's in the first Rik mantra in this Anuvaka. You can pick it up, but I will fix it and save it. Okay. For now, I will continue. At some point I thought I will not give transliteration, force everyone to read, but then I thought that's too cruel. So I will leave the transliteration, English transliteration. So in terms of pronunciation, bhu is fourth letter in the pa varga, so it has to be aspirated. Bhuyam sascha. I think a few of you may say, where is the gum missing? So I have removed the gums which are only related to pronunciation, chanting. While chanting only we pronounce that. But just the original word itself is only bhuyams. Okay. Bhu, Rutra with a sthi. Sthi. The tha is again second letter in the tha varga. So it's an aspirated sound with a sthire. The sha is as cerebral sha. Okay. I have put an that I think I copied. Maybe I should. Others will all wonder what's that. Sha. Okay, I don't have the transliteration here, but I will fix it later. Sorry. Yesham. Sahasra Yojaneva Dhanvani Tanmasi. Again here, Sahasra Yojane. Is again Avagraha. It's not pronounced. Dha is the fourth letter in the third varga. Okay. Dhanvani Tanmasi. You can look at the first Rik mantra, which I have given, where I have given the breakdown, the pada form for that. It's not here. Okay. We'll look at just the first line for the pada break. Ye is actually become ye because of again sandhi. Okay, ye had become ye in the mantra, but the original word is ye. Etavantaha cha. The ha cha has become ishcha. Sandhi again has become ishcha. Bhuya sascha. Okay, bhuyam sascha. Again, the visarga has become ish because of sandhi. That's how you get bhuyam sascha. Dishaha, the visarga has become o because of that. You get disho. Rudra, this visarga is dropped. That's how you get just Rudra. So these are all sandhi rules through which certain changes happen. Simple. After breaking the sandhis, the words are ye etavantaha cha bhuyamsaha cha dishaha rudraha vitasthire. Vitasthire. Okay. We look at the meaning. Ye, those who, etavantaha, all these people, all these, whatever mantras we have mentioned, etavantas, those mentioned so far. Okay. Etavantaha. That's all the names, attributes of Rudra, because the same Rudra is present as in multiple bodies, multiple entities, multiple forces, multiple forms of God, multiple elements, thousands. They are present. Sahasrashaha, Sahasradha, like that. We have looked at that also before. In unlimited ways. Okay. Bhuyams. Bhuya means it's spreading, pervading everywhere, okay, who exist in different things. Bhuyamsaha. Okay, Amsaha, you can see as a part, the Lord is present in everything. Okay, Bhuyamsaha. Cha. Rudraha. They are also Rudras. Who is present in everything is Rudra. Rudra is present as many Rudras in this world. Rudraha. Dishaha. Disha means directions. Okay, Disha. Vita sthire. Sthire means who are pervading, spreading and pervading, present everywhere. Sthira means in everything it's present as a sthira, as something which is firm. With a sthire. It's a verb. Sthire. Tesham sahasra yojane. Tesham, there, sahasra yojane, across 1,000 yojanas, our favorable dhanvani bows, tanmasi, let us spread, let's propagate. Okay, so that means, Rudram attempts to give different descriptions, but there's no end to that description. Then we have to describe, if there are 6 billion people, all their names also have to be put here. That's only people. Then what about animals? What about the birds? What about in the number of species? It's unlimited. So this mantra covers everything. See, etavan bhuyam saha. Okay. So in everything around this world, whatever is good is present. Let us spread that everywhere. Let us find good in everything, whether it's food, whether birds, trees, animals, people. Take that good and spread it everywhere. That is our role. That is the path. Let's propagate. So these are, as you can see, these 10 mantras is not even a prayer. May we do that? Of course, with God's help only we can do that, but we have also a role to play. So that means the 10th Anuvaka, after looking at all these forms of Rudras, now these 10, it's like 10 commandments, you can say. Each of them we have to say, how do we practice this? This is something which we can look at. How do we spread these good things around the world, everywhere? Because that is our contribution to the world. And so hopefully Rudra blesses us to do this. And the next mantras actually cover that portion, which we'll look at next week. The Rishi for this is also Devala Rishi, who discovered, who received this mantra. The Chandas is Anushtu, and the Lord is Rudra. Okay. So I have a longish excerpt of Swami. So I hope you bear with me. The Shiva consciousness is all pervading. How can we limit it to a particular time and place? Sarvata Pani Padam Tat Sarvatokshi Shiromukham Sarvata Shrutimalloke Sarvam Avritya Tishtati. The translation is given here. With hands, feet, eyes and head, mouth and ears pervading everything, he penetrates the entire universe. Okay. The Lord is present and is inside everything in this world. That is the Shiva consciousness. If we carefully analyze this aspect once, it will be obvious that all that we witness around is Shiva consciousness and nothing else. Shiva does not mean a particular form which matted hair and tiger skin. Wherever we look and whichever form we come across, whether a child or an elderly person, whether a woman or a man, in every form, the Shiva consciousness is resplendent. How can you describe that all-pervading Shiva consciousness or limit it to a particular time and place? People display a particular dance form or to portray the Shiva Tandava. the cosmic dance of Lord Shiva and Parvati. But this is only symbolic and does not portray the real Shiva Tandava. How can one describe the transcendental Shiva consciousness which words cannot describe or the mind cannot comprehend? Lord Shiva is described by some as Mukkanti, the Lord with 3 eyes. All of you have only 2 eyes, but the Lord has a 3rd eye as well. You are aware of only the past and the present. You cannot visualize the future. Only God can. Lord Shiva, who can visualize the future with his 3rd eye, that is Jnana Netra, is therefore referred to as Mukkanti. God is described by different people in several ways. He is described to be donning several forms. Nevertheless, all those descriptions fail to describe him in full. Each one describes as God and ascribes him to a particular form and name and form, depending on his imagination. The nameless, formless God is omnipresent and all-pervading. He is Avang Manasa Gochara. Neither words can describe nor the mind can comprehend him. And Aprameya, immeasurable. So the last mantra, that is what Etavantas Chabuyamscha, the rishis also give up, he is everywhere, in everything, in all aspects. To that, let's take all that is positive, wherever we find. Because the Rudra is present in everything, so there has to be goodness in everything in this world. We have to take that, we have to spread. We have to first take it in within us, make it ours, and then we can spread it everywhere. So this is what all these 10 mantras so far in the last Anuvaka tell us, teach us. So we should remember, we should be able to find Rudra everywhere in everything, and that's what Swami nicely says. And the Shiva that is the real Shiva. Everything else is only symbolic. But we should understand that Shiva is present in everything. That's what Sri Rudram teaches so far, and we have 1 mantra or 3 mantras, whichever way you look at, Yaju's mantra, 3 Yaju's mantras, which will complete the Sri Rudram 11th Anuvakam. We will look at that next week, next Sunday. And there are some 7 other mantras which are generally chanted, which come from various different locations in the Vedas. We'll look at them also, like the mantra Triyambakam and all that. We'll look at all of them, whatever we can. The next 2 weeks we'll be covering all of that, and we will bring Sri Namakam to a close. That's a wish. With those words, I will stop. And if there are any questions, and if I have an answer, we can discuss. Sairam. Sairam Kalyani.
Oh, Sairam Uncle, just a few questions I missed. For Vita Stire, you said the stira refers to firm, and then the other
means who Vita Stire, means one who you expands, and then he establishes himself. So that's a pervading.
Okay.
The Lord, see, Vita, multiple meaning of it. One is people have said he penetrates and he establishes. So the Lord has penetrated everything and established. Stira means firm. He is very well established in everything. So that's the way to look at the Vita Stire. Okay, I hope that.
Yes, and then Bhuyamsa, you said the Amsa is part.
Yes, and Bhuya, Bhuya means Bhuya means that which exists, that which will exist also.
Okay.
So it also looks at future also.
Okay.
Whatever is going to be born also is covered in that,
Okay.
But that was in the past, that is in the present, and it will also become in the future.
Okay.
All that is covered.
And then for Anna, you said Anna comes from At?
Yes, actually At is Anna.
Okay.
I will maybe I will in the next class I will just put it out there. So
Okay.
Anna means that which you eat and that eats you.
Okay.
Okay, Anna, that's Anna.
And it's at twice. That's what
Yes,
makes the word
yes,
Anna. Oh.
yes. I will next week I will go over. I had so much material, but I thought it'll overrun. So some of them, I can dwell on it a bit, but it'll take longer.
Yeah.
So I didn't know the level of interest. But I will explain so I will take Swami's excerpt is there, so I will bring it. Sure.
And the same with the Aila Brita. You said da means give, and then Aila Brita.
Yeah, that also I will cover in the next session.
Okay.
Okay, that's how that word is derived. I will explain.
Sairam, I don't know. Please,
Yes.
please give us most of the knowledge that you can share. You will never bore us. We don't want to miss this opportunity.
Yes,
I don't know whether we will get it again.
No, I think okay, Sairam, I will do my best. So there are things which may be of interest to me, but others may not be interested. That's my reason. But okay, I will do so. Yes, Brother Kumar.
Brother, I think once you finish Rudram, you said Sri Namakam. What did that means?
So no, this Rudra
Yeah.
has two aspects, brother. One is Namakam,
Yeah.
which we are covering the 11 Anavakas. After that, we have what's called Chamakam.
Okay.
So Rudra has two parts. Both of them are considered together are called Sri Rudra. Because one is the Namaka part where we bow down. Then the other one is Chamaka, which people generally think, we want this, we ask for this and that. We will discuss that. Actually, that's also a very high Upanishad, but I don't think there's not enough Bhashyas available, and people think we're asking God for this and that. But actually, that is, in my view, that's a bit more advanced than Namakam also. So that is Chamakam. So what we have studied is called Namakam because that word Nama is repeated so many times. That is bowing down to the Lord. Worship. That's why it's called Namaka. I think I covered it in the introduction. Maybe you missed it. But that's what's in Namakam. I hope that's clear answers, brother.
Yes. And thank you so much for the relevant gems from Swami. Because just in 1 minute, I'll tell you, I used to go to pray. I used to go with my parents when I was up to from 3 years to about 7 years in Sri Lanka, bhajans. Then, after that, my parents go, I never went. It's nothing that I have nothing to do. Then one aunt, one of my very favorite aunt, she lives in US, she told me, Swami will get back to you through Shiva. I don't know, she told me this in 1999 in Sri Lanka. And her words are true. Thank you.
The Lord Shiva is the one who will reach you, the same Shiva.
Yeah, I'm always a Shiva Bhaktan, so I'm always, but this is something, is the relevant gems that you bring through divine discourses, absolutely awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm happy to share. Thank you. Yes, Sister Kalyani.
Sorry, Uncle, last question. For Mantra 7, the English translation. So
which one?
For Mantra 7.
Let me go. You should excuse me because sometimes I do things in a hurry also, trying to do multiple things. So sometimes I don't do justice, but yes, go ahead.
And the next slide, the English translation.
Litigation.
No, the next slide where you go through the meaning.
Okay.
So, the bottom where it says, those Rudras who govern in food, in vessels, and those who drink. And is it like...
Yes, go ahead.
Is it, because from what you meant, what you went through is it more like those Rudras who govern in food and those two people who drink?
I should say those two who drink. I will fix it.
Is it those two who drink from the vessels or?
Yes, in the vessel. You know, in the vessels, you know, see, not from the vessel. I see, seventh, from is different vibhakti.
Okay.
Okay. From is, you know, the act of separation, you know, ad.
Fifth
Okay,
one.
it's, okay, pardon?
Fifth one? Is fifth? No.
Yes, fifth one. Ramat, you know, so I think we will cover that. So the thing is, the vibhakti which is used is the seventh, patreshu,
Okay.
in, on, about, you understand? So in the vessel they are drinking.
Oh.
So they, in the vessel means, so that's the way I looked at the meaning. Okay. It is not from the vessel. So they are within the vessel and they are drinking. That's the way I took the meaning. So some of it is, you know, you know, you all should study elsewhere also, because my own limitation also may have crept in. But I looked at this word and said, Patreshu pibataha. In the vessel they are drinking, means they are within us. Am Vaishwanaro bhutva praninam deham ashritah. The Lord is aham. You know, I am Vaishwanara bhutva. So the Lord is present in us as Vaishwanara. He is the one who is consuming. He is the one who is digesting. So that's the way I looked at it. Because it is Patreshu, which is seventh vibhakti. Okay. So, you know, I have done some, you know, my own things also have crept in. So I'll just leave it to you all. Okay. To, however, you know, whatever appeals to you all, you just take. But if you read, they will say from the vessels also people can say. But actually, it's seventh vibhakti. So that's why I use the word in. And my inspiration comes from the food prayer.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. Arun, can you please explain the real meaning of the sentence, we shall spread their beneficial bows across thousands of yojanas? What is the real meaning out of it?
Okay, so, you know, I think I should last
class.
Last mantra. Yes. Actually, I don't have to say, it's implied.
The last line.
Yeah, I'm Stesham. This is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think I've covered it in the last lesson.
Yeah.
So let me, maybe once, give me a minute. I'm just going to open up last week's. Can you see them? So this is the first mantra I think I spent, but I will, it's no harm in, I think, repeating it. Tesham, this is the one.
Yeah.
So Tesham means there. Okay. Sahasra Yojane means Sahasra means 1000.
Yeah.
Yojana is a measure of distance.
Okay.
One yojana is supposed to be 8 miles, so 12.8 kilometers. So 1000 yojana means 12,800 kilometers. The diameter of the earth is 12,742. So that means to the other side of the earth, that distance covers. Okay. So that means wherever we go on this earth, we are going only within this 1000 yojana.
Okay.
Okay. So to this 1000 yojana, the meaning generally given is, I will go to the next. This is the traditional. First, I should cover that. So this is what people generally have given. Okay. All the commentaries, if you go, they have taken this ava and put it along with tanmasi. Ava tanmasi. That is the way that means tanmasi is like tanmahi or tanmahe. Okay. That means we make it happen. Okay. What are we making it happen? Because the bows, dhanvani, bows, to be loosened and deposited. That means all this can harm us, So let us make these bows and let them untie the bow so that it's not strung and keep them somewhere else. That is the meaning which all the Bhashyakara has given. Because our when it's put along with Tanmasi, our Tanmasi means you keep it there, put it there, rest it there. That is the meaning they have given. Okay, so if there are arrows, bows, which these Rudras have, we have to put it somewhere far, we have to work on it. Because in this, it's not even a prayer, not asking. We determine that we do. Okay, that is the Tanmasi. Because this is a very Vedic usage of the word asi, that ending, which is basically we do that. Tanma. I don't know if you look at Gachami, Gachavaha, Gachamaha. That means we do. Like Dhimahi. With Mahe. All Mahe means let us all do this. That's the meaning of Tanmasi. Okay, Dhanvani Tanmasi. But I have taken the liberty or whatever to do it slightly differently from what the traditional commentators have done. You can take it or leave it. I have used the word ava with Dhanvani as an adjective of the word Dhanvani. Ava has the meaning of favorable, beneficent, grace, all that, graceful, you can put it, full of grace. So ava Dhanva, ava also means protect. Okay, we have Sahana avatu. Ava means we are asking the Lord to bless us, to protect us. In the prayer also, which. So ava Dhanvani. So I have said Dhanva is bow. So ava Dhanvani, so beneficent arrows. So we are saying to the ends of this earth. Here the Tanmasi means propagate, spread, take it far. Okay. So we have to take what is beneficial. Dhanva, I've said the body can also call the bow. The mind also can be toward the bow. And we are continuously sending things out. We're always doing something. We are also saying something. So our thoughts are also spreading. So all the three karanas, we are always doing something. So this bow has to be taken everywhere. That's the way I have understood. So that means we determine that in our words, everything which goes should be positive wherever we go. Our thoughts should be positive and they should spread positive things wherever we go. Because we can't travel to all the thousands of miles. That is one meaning. There's also a meaning that if we chant these mantras, the effect of the mantra which we chant can reach 1000. So just the Rudra Parayanam every day, if we do, even without us traveling, the mantras will travel for thousands of miles. And so that way also we can take. So chanting it every day, we are sending that to thousands of miles, kilometers to the other side of the earth.
Thank you very much. I was wondering what the meaning is.
So I hope. Yes, Sister Aruna, you had a question.
Brother, I just wanted to make an announcement about the Sathya Sai Jajna. Okay. Sairam, everyone. We have organized a Sri Sathya Sai Jajna that is going to take place on April 28th, 29th, and 30th at Richmond Hill, Ganesha Temple in Richmond Hill. So this is the first day program from 8 to 9, the second day program from 9 to 5 Saturday, and Sunday is a half a day, 9 to 1. So we encourage everyone to join, and we have started a Sri Rudram practices. So 3 times a week, and we have posted that details, Zoom details, in WhatsApp messages and announcement. And if anybody didn't get that message, please message me. I can send you the Zoom link. This is taking place 3 times a week. Monday from 8:30 to 9:15 is only 45 minutes. And Wednesday, 5:15 to 6. And Friday is from 9 to 9:45. So this is a Rudram chanting practice session. So we encourage everyone to join, and you can join on this for Yajna. We have a third day. It's a the Rudram. That's they are going to chant for 11 times the Rudram. So this will enable everyone to participate on it. So thank you very much, Saira.
Sairam, Brother Arunu, just one quick question. It may just take 2 sentences.
No problem.
Just in a nutshell, tell me what the bow is and what the arrow is, in a nutshell.
The bow is from which we send the arrow. The bow signifies anything from which you send something out. Okay. So in this case, the bow is of 3 kinds. Okay. Bow can be your body, from which actions go forth. The bow can be your mind, from which the thoughts go out. The bow can be your own tongue or the voice, from which the words go out. From anywhere you send the weapon, that which stands from which something is sent out, that is the bow. So all 3, we have 3 levels of bow in us, through which we engage in karma, action. Okay, so that's the way I interpret Sister Saira. So that is the bow. So our body should,
What about the arrow? The arrow. I got the bow. What about the arrow?
Arrows are actions.
Okay,
thoughts,
got it. Saira. That was
we are
beautiful.
always spreading these 3 wherever we go. But if our arrow and where we hold all the thoughts are good, our intentions are good, the feelings are good, that is what contains it, and that's from where everything is sent out. So we can take them as the bow means that which we contain within us, which is the most positive.
Thank you. That was very beautiful. I really understand that now. Thank you so much.
So whenever we go, we should go with the body, mind, and thought, our body, mind, and the words, which are all positive. Wherever we go in this, to the end of the earth, if we go, we should carry that everywhere. It's the way I understand. I hope that helps. And this actually, it's not only, we are determining that we will do that. We are taking a vow that we will do that in these 10 mantras. Together, we are going to do this. That is the way these 10 mantras are. I hope that helps.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Okay, so with if there are no other questions, I think it's already 10:34. We'll close. If you have any questions, you just hold on till next Saturday. Saturday I will cover. Saira, we'll close with closing prayers. Saira. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Jai Sai Ram.